Shalom, call all Yahaba Shin Yahushua. Just a quick video I'm gonna get into about what's going on over in the Middle East. Got this devil Jared Kushner, which he been ducked off for a minute, but he reemerging while all this stuff going on with Palestine and Israel over there. I'm gonna let this video play just a little bit. I'm going to a few scriptures.
In Palestine. But key Palestinian institutions are not attending the Manama meeting. For example, the Palestinian Authority, which is arguing for a reverse order, a political settlement first, money later, an approach that would tackle the difficult questions of establishing a Palestinian state, end the Israeli occupation of Palestinian lands, and allow refugees to return. The Israeli government is also not attending the meeting, at least not officially. The man who is spearheading the plan is President Trump's senior advisor and son-in-law, Jared Kushner.
And this is the devil that got the building where they manufactured the RFID chip with the address 666. Now, if you can't pay attention to see them signs, notice that's what the book of Revelation talking about. Hey, the Most High don't want you to see it, but those who can see it, that's a good thing.
And today, at the White House, he sits down and talks to Al Jazeera to explain the Trump administration's strategy for bringing peace between the Israelis and the Palestinians.
All right, I'm going to pause that right there. This is the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5, and I'm going to start at verse 2. It says, "For you are fully aware that the day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night. My people are saying peace and security. Destruction will come upon them suddenly, like labor pains on a pregnant woman, and they will not escape. But you, brothers, are not in darkness, so that this day should overtake you like a thief." Because a lot of people ain't paying attention to this right now. Then you got a lot of pastors that people go to church. They don't even teach them this stuff. They don't let them know like what's really going on. They don't talk about the news. They're in there chucking and jiving and fucking around. Meanwhile, you got these motherfuckers shooting nukes up into space and positioning them over certain countries, placing submarines in certain waters, putting ships in different areas. Like I seen a clip earlier, and it was talking about Russia bringing a ship to Cuba. Now, Fidel Castro was trying to do the same stuff. Now you got a new president down there. He done made a union with Putin. So that's another place that's closer to America where they're going to shoot them nukes off. And it ain't going to take that long for them to reach from over to Russia and all these other different parts of the world and from down there in Cuba area because they already down there. It says, let me go to this video real quick while I'm talking about it. So the Russians brought, it was a frigate ship or whatever, and it was up under U.S. supervision. Now the reason why they're watching it because they know. Let me go back to my subscriptions. Because they know what's about to take place, and they call themselves trying to make peace talks and do all this other shit, man. But the Most High gonna put the spirit on them. Somebody gonna do something to piss another person off or another nation or whatever, and then all hell gonna break loose. Let's say Russian warships dock in Cuba a mere 100 miles off U.S. coast. And that's another video I seen too. It was going more into detail. That's the guy Dabu channel, Dabu77 channel. Go back to it. Yeah, this one I was looking for. Russian Navy frigate arrives in Cuba under U.S. observation.
Let's go tell people they'll only pay for what they need with Liberty Mutual. Fine, I'll drive.
Let's skip a little bit. I don't play too much of it. But this was going on, man. They positioned everything like if you ever play like a war video game or something like that. I've seen the war movies that'll start off economically. Then they'll start positioning their troops in different areas, sitting on the borders, I seen another video recently, and the guy was talking about 15,000 UN troops at Mexico border. So what they'll do is they'll send people around to these borders, different countries, police ships and submarines in different waters. Then they'll have some more talks. And that's where the scripture come in there right here. It says in the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5, verse 3, while people are saying peace and security, peace and security destruction will come upon them suddenly, like labor pains on a pregnant woman, and they will not escape. I'm going to go back to the video with Jared Krishna and let it play.
Mr. Kushner, great to have you on Al Jazeera. Thank you very much for the time. I just wanted to briefly start by asking you, what does doing this interview at this time with Al Jazeera mean to you?
Thank you. Well, it's an honor to be with you, and thank you for coming to the White House. And we're excited. We leave in a couple hours to go to Bahrain for what will be a very exciting workshop. But we thought it was very important to speak to Al Jazeera. It's been a great voice in the region and somebody that we've been working with, and we're hopeful that this will give us the opportunity to have a direct line to a lot of the people in the Middle East.
No, I just watched some of this before I made this video, and I was just, analyzing what he was saying. Now, you got hella shit breaking out in the U.S. Ebola don't hit the shores. Got a drug pandemic, poverty, all type of shit going on. Meanwhile, these devils, they over there meddling over there, so-called fake, I won't say so-called, but these actual fucking fake Jews, because they not no real Jews, these Amalekites. Right there's a damn Amalekite, and when you read about the chief house of Esau and all the, the dupes and all that, more than likely he one of them coming back in the reincarnation.
The workshop in Manama, what will be your metrics for measuring the success of it?
So I think it's already been a success in the sense that we have every country coming from the region. We have a lot of countries coming from throughout the world. Despite people who tried to get them not to come, they're all coming, and that's a very big first step. The second step is that we've been able to get some of the top investors and people from throughout the world to come who are showing interest in helping the Palestinian people in the region. Right now, we have a lot of investment funds that won't invest in the Middle East because it's not stable, they don't have peace, they don't have security. And so we want to show people is that there is a great potential and a great future for this region if it's possible. So we laid out our vision a couple days ago, and that's starting to get a lot of discussion in the region. And we hope at this conference we'll be able to further discuss it, figure out where people agree, figure out where people have different suggestions, and then hopefully form a real consensus around what the potential could be for the region if there is a peace agreement.
So how will you tally your metrics for measuring success with the metrics that others, especially the skeptics, may have about the success of the Manama workshop?
I think that with the whole peace process in general, people are right to be skeptical. It's a problem that has been unsolved for many, many years, and what I find is a lot of the criticism we get are from people who have tried to do this in the past and who have failed, and then they criticize us for not doing it the same way that they've done it. Again, the president is not a traditional politician. He wants to do things in a different way, and if we can get people through this process to look at this problem differently and to see what the future can be, then I think that could be a very, very big.
No, I'm going to go into this because this is in the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 4. And that's what these devils doing. This Edom right here, these damn Edomites. It's right in verse 4 says, though Edom may say, we have been devastated, but we will rebuild the ruins. This is what the Lord of hosts says. They may build, but I will demolish. They will be called a land of wickedness, and a people toward whom the Lord is indignant forever. And then you look into the word indignant, it goes into indignation, which just means righteous anger. It says in verse 5, you will see this with your own eyes, and you yourselves will say, the Lord is great, even beyond the borders of Israel. Now, I'm going to go into something else real quick, because that's one of the translations, but this is the translation I really want to show, because it really go into detail. Just say demolish. This is how you can really understand the characteristics of the Most High to a certain extent. It said, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build what I will throw down, and they should call them the border of wickedness. Now, you read in the scriptures, it says Edom is the border of wickedness. Let me see, go into it. Make sure I type it in right, because sometimes you gotta make sure you put in certain keywords. Bear with me one moment and we'll get back to that video. Just want to bring this out while I was playing too, because this serious stuff right here. This really prophecy unfolding right here. They over there talking about going to build up. Because you look at Jerusalem over there, it's real desolate. There's another scripture too, man. It says something about them being a border of wickedness. I might be one I'm just looking for. The book of Malachi. There's another one too I want to say in the book of Job. We ain't gonna get into that one right now. I just want to bring this out about what he's speaking about.
Successful thing. We laid out our vision. We put it on our website. It started to circulate. We've seen a ton of downloads and internet traffic on it in the West Bank and in Gaza and throughout the Middle East. And that's great. We need to start the discussion. And what we want is people to see that there can be a very bright future. This plan calls for $50 billion of investment, both between private capital and low interest loans and grants. We want to build all the necessary infrastructure. And we want to make sure that these different industries are stimulated. If we do that properly, we believe that this plan will create over 1 million new jobs in the West Bank and Gaza. We think it could reduce the unemployment rate to single digits, and we think that it could.
You see, these devils, they talking about unemployment rate. What about over here in Babylon, in America? That's how this place look over there. It's like a damn desert. All these trees they got growing over there, those trees are flown in. Them stuff won't even grow over there. Bunch of stone and all that. That's all that's over there. I'm gonna let this play some more. I'm gonna just end this off of these scriptures. I ain't gonna make it too
Decrease the
long.
poverty rate by 50%. Those are all goals that we should really strive to. They cannot happen without a peace agreement, but without a real plan, prosperity doesn't just happen. Prosperity has to be planned for, earned, and executed very vigorously.
So you probably
And see, that's what they plan to do. Now I'm gonna go into this scripture right here. It says it says in the book of Psalms, chapter 55, start at verse 20. It says, "My companion attacks his friends. He violates his covenant," and that's what these devils do. They'll make a covenant with somebody, a little peace treaty. Next thing you know, they coming in to take over shit and wipe out villages and all type of shit like that. Now it says in verse 21, "His speech is smooth as butter, but war is in his heart. His words are salter than oil, yet they are swords unsheathed." When you look at a sword unsheathed, that's just talking about a sword, drawn swords, basically. It says, "Cast your burden upon the Lord, and He will sustain you. He will never let the righteous be shaken." I'm going to go and read some more scriptures, so, some reference points to go with it. It says in the book of Psalms, chapter 12, verse 2, "They lie to one another. They speak with flattering lips and a double heart." So this devil, that's why look at that smirk on his face. He's speaking with them flattering lips and a double heart. So he up there cheesing and smirking because the whole time he talking about making peace. Meanwhile, they trying to go over there and wipe these other people out. They already be taking land from them and all that, even though they ain't their land any damn way, but they still do it. Now, the book of Psalms, chapter 28, verse 3, it says, "Do not drag me away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, who speak peace to their neighbors, while malice is in their hearts." Now, let's look at that word malice. Gotta go into this word. Y'all know what it means, but I just want to bring it up and go all the way in get the full spectrum of it. It says malice, the intention or desire to do evil, ill will, spitefulness, malevolence, maliciousness, animosity, hostility, ill will, ill feeling, hatred, hate, bitterness, venom, vindictiveness, vengefulness, revenge, malignity. It says enmity, devilment. Yeah, because this ain't no government. This is goddamn devilment. That's what that shit is. That's a good word for that right there. It says devilry, bad blood, backbiting, gall, rancor, spleen, grudge, and I got more. I'm going to see if I can find a translation, see if we go back to the Greek or the Latin. Yeah, we got the French, and it goes into the Old English, malice. Go back to the Latin, malita, malitia. Then you got the Latin, that's malus. Nah, that's what that's what the devil got playing. He ain't the only one. He's just one of the little puppets of the game. But he juiced in with them Rothschilds and the Rockefellers up. I'm gonna read down some more. It's in the book of Psalms 2. It's in chapter 62, verse 4. It says, they fully intend to topple him from his lofty perch. They delight in lies. With their mouths they bless, but inwardly they curse. Salah. Nah, that's what these devils doing though. This right here in the book of Psalms, Malak Dawudah, King David was breaking these devils down to a T. That's their characteristics. It says in the book of Proverbs, chapter 5, verse 3, it says, know the lips of the forbidden. Oh no, that ain't the one I was looking for. Let me go back. Salaki. The book of Psalms, chapter 120, verse 7, it says, I am in favor of peace, but when I speak, they want war. And that's what these devils want. You know, most Israelite men are peaceful men. Like, we don't be with all that. We want to chill with our women. You know, sip some good yan, eat good, be around your family, you know, and go see different stuff and be at peace. All that war shit, you know, society got our men in a warlike state. Because, you know, naturally we are warriors, but before that, we people of peace. And that's what Jerusalem means, place of peace. And Jerusalem is the people before the place, because the people actually make up the place. So naturally our people are peaceful. We just resort to that war stuff when they come against us. But these devils, they all for that war. That's how they think about war, destroying shit, destruction. So, you know, I just want to bring this out. These devils over there, they stirring up some stuff. And it's all because of how about Shin Yao. So I'm going to bring out one more scripture too. I'm going to go to it real quick. I brought this out in the other video. It's the book of Proverbs. Book of Proverbs, chapter 21. In verse 1, it says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh as the rivers of water. He turneth it whatsoever he will. So, these devils think they're going over there to go do their will. Really, they're doing the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Shalom.